Okay guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'll be showing y'all what setup made me $1,000 in one day. So first things first, I would like to thank everybody who's watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would suggest you subscribe because there's going to be way more value to come, and I want to jump right into this. So first of all, this is the replay mode of my real chart. This is my real chart. So I don't know how people usually do these breakdowns, but this is how I'm going to do these breakdowns. And I'm going to put my profit here so y'all can see that it's real profits. And yes, I'm a funded trader. I'm trading a funded account, and I have no shame in trading a funded account. It's okay for those of you who don't have enough capital to start or didn't have enough capital to start. It's okay to use a funded account. All right, it's perfectly fine. Don't be having no shame to it just because it's not a live account. As long as you're making the money, that's all that matters. All right. So, and yeah, for those of you that want to know, I have a 25K funded account and I have a 50K funded account. I have two. So, all right. So let's jump right into it. So first things first, what I like to do a lot of the times is I like to go on the daily, which is to see just like the overall picture. So on the daily right here, we could probably add this trend line right here, right there. So just to make it a little bit easier. Okay. All right. So I see that downtrend, right? Or overall downtrend. Boom, boom, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right here. Crack this right here. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And this right here, I'm gonna show you what made me want to shift from this huge downtrend that we're doing and that we're making to going for the buys. So first thing I noticed, the lower high right here that it made, right? Correct? Lower high right here, boom. Then what do we have right here? Sellers did not have momentum, or did not have enough power to keep pushing it down. So what happened? We created a higher low right here, April 30th. April 30th, boom. So I did catch this one. That's not the one we're gonna talk about. All right, we're gonna talk about this one, and maybe we have time the other one. But we're gonna talk about this setup right here, which I did go in a little heavier than I usually go in, but I felt good about it too. So that's why I went in heavier. I went in on a 2 lot. All right. So higher low, boom, right? Higher high. Have a higher low right here. So we already know, what are we seeing? It's shifting. It's shifted completely right here. Shifted completely right here. Boom. So now after I know that, okay, made a higher low here, higher high, made another higher low. And what are we doing? Okay, like the shift is happening. It's already shifting on the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, this is how it looks. Boom. This was the higher high we were talking about, and this is how I caught this right here. So I'm looking at it. Oh, boom! It showed me that. Boom! I had the fibs pulled out right here. So I had these fibs pulled out. Boom! It came to an 88.6 retrace, right? But that's not where we're seeing the details. We're seeing the details. Look, we got to drop down lower. We drop down lower, and what do we see? What do we see right here? We drop down lower, and we made a lower high right here. Broke this right here, right? So people would some people would be like, oh, all right, it broke this. I'm not gonna lie. Fibs, pull out fibs, takes up. Not what we're doing. Cause when we looked at the 4 hour, right? We looked at this is 2 hour. We looked at this 4 hour right here. This area right here, look, let me explain it to you. This area that was looking like a structure on the 1 hour is completely irrelevant. completely irrelevant. It was nothing on the 4 hour, and we're basing it off the 4 hour, and that area right here means nothing on the 4 hour. So keeping all that in mind, right? Keeping all that in mind, it came to a 4 hour 88.6, right? You see, let me make it easier. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Okay, so when it got to this 88.6 right here, when it got to this 88.6 right here, right? 88.6 to 100%. Boom. Obviously, we're not seeing much on this time frame because I did not enter off the 1 hour, and I never enter off the 1 hour. So we see this, and what do we see? Based off the overall picture on the 4 hour, these right here you could ignore because this is what helped me catch this. Once this breaks, this is really irrelevant to me, and I should have just took it out. This right here, but I really like to leave it there just because it looks nice and it's not gonna confuse me because I know why it's there. So right here, when I saw that it got to this point right here, I wasn't in the market yet, right? I was not in the market yet. I was overall like patiently waiting, low key. I was like, did I just miss out on the sales? Like boom, boom, boom. Which honestly, I could have taken advantage of these sales right here. But in my head, my bias has shifted to bullish, completely bullish overall. Not completely bullish, but my bias had changed to bullish based on this. Based on this right here. Let me see. Because remember, this is a setup from May 5. I have way more to break down. That's why I'm starting on this one. So yeah, you see right there, boom. This was a break. This was a break right here, boom. All right, look. All right. So this one I entered off the 5 minute and the 15, right? But this is what you still gotta know. Remember, we went to the daily first, then we dropped down to the 4 hour. We looked at the 2 hour, we looked at the 1 hour. We have to look at every time frame to correlate them, right? So boom. Here on the 15 minute is where my entry came. Right here. This right here is where my entry came. So, and this is how I get a lot of my entries. So my overall bias was bullish, daily bullish. So on these time frames, the minute I see a transition or shift that is gonna put me back into the main bias, which mine was bullish based off the daily analysis that I made and I had right here, was what made me entry. Ready? Let's go through it. All right, let's go through it. Boom. So right here, lower high is break, lower high on a higher time frame. Boom, is breaking. Da da da. Break. Lower high. Low. Lower high. Low. Lower high. Lower low. Lower high. Lower low. Lower high. Low. Peep game. Peep game. Yep. This was 23. This was 23.6 right here. This was a 23.6 right here. Doesn't count as a low. It doesn't count as a true structural lower high point. Which one was the lower high point? Right here. Nice lower high point too. Look at this bullish engulf, bearish engulfing. Okay, boom. Guess what? We see the break right here. See the break on the 15 minute right here with the support on the MA with a bullish engulfing on the 15 minute, right? Boom. That's one entry right here. That was my first entry right here. Right here. That was my first entry. At the end of that bullish engulfing. Boom. I had multiple entries though. So we see the confluences, right? We see the confluences, right? So overall, I had a daily bullish bias. Because of it's been trending downtrend for a while. and made the higher low on the daily, which gave me which told me, look, sellers don't have enough momentum or enough power to keep pushing down. Buyers are present. So right there I was taking more advantage and trying to be more trying to focus more and try to be more patient, trying to see what it gives me, trying to be more on point. All right, boom. So as it's doing all of that, it breaks and makes a higher high, right? It breaks that on the daily. Let's so I can show you. I can show you better than I could tell you. Boom, right here. First one, this one right here was the one that got me observative and looking and like, oh, something's about to change. When it did this right here, that it broke this lower high, that got me into it. I'm not gonna lie, right now, I'm expecting bullish pressure. And that's that. On the 4-hour, you would have known even earlier than that. You would have known even earlier than that on the 4-hour. Because on the 4-hour, you see this? See, boom, boom. You go right here, higher low right here, higher high, higher low, higher high, low, lower high, protecting that low, higher high, higher low, boom, right? So on the 4-hour, that's what it was telling me. So let's go back to the 15-minute where I entered. Okay. Remember, this is my first chart breakdown, so don't be too rough with me, you feel me? Boom. Bullish engulfing, beautiful bullish engulfing. What are the confluences that we had? Okay, so we had this lower high right here broken, right? We had this high made right here. And then what do we have? Oh, we have right here. We have support right there. This isn't broken. This is tested. On the MA, 15 minutes bullish engulfing. Not gonna lie, any time of the day, I'm entering that market. Let's go. Let's go. Kept going. Boom, boom. Came back to this right here. This is where I entered again. This why I was heavy on in this position. This is where I entered again. Another higher low with a bullish engulfing. Right there. I like to drag stuff, make it look nice. Like, not even messy is nice for me. So as long as I could understand it, is nice. And you know, when it looks like a lot and stuff like that, I like that, you know. So that's why I haven't cleared my chart. Look, 1196 drawings, only 2 indicators, by the way, and one is volume, and the other one is this line. Not 174 indicators. Just saying. Boom. So I entered here, right? I think I entered 2. Let's see. Y'all can't see it. I don't know if y'all can see it clear, but I will put it on the screen for proof. Yeah, I entered only one. I entered one here, right? And then yeah. And one right here. One right here. This bullish engulfing. So on the 15-minute, I had the entry on the 15-minute, and I had 2. And then on this one, I entered again. All right. And then right here, I entered again. So I had, I'm gonna mark them out for you. Entry right there on that yellow circle, but on the 15-minute. Entry right there. And this one, a lot of people wouldn't have took the entry here because of this wick. But if you know, you know. And this wicks like this usually fill, especially when it's going in the direction of like, if you see a wick like that and it's going and it's on an uptrend and it's a blue, like it's a green body, like it's usually gonna fill. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's gonna fill. You see it right there. And not even that I don't know how to explain it, but this is something that if you know, you know. Like this comes from experience, time in the charts in the market, that you've seen this so many times that you know when something happens like this, it's gonna feel. So, and it was a big bullish engulfing. So I was like, you know what, risky. This is not even risky for me because I'm already, you know what I'm saying, I'm feeling good about it. It's keep making higher lows. So look, higher low, higher low, higher low, low, low. And when it did this right here, was like, okay, boom, I'm gonna enter. And maybe I didn't even enter. Let me see. Yeah, I did enter there. Or was it in the 5 minute? Bear with me. Bear with me. Tell you exactly what the other entry was. 145. 145. 145. 3. No, right here. Oh, okay. 145,209. Oh, all right. Boom. I see. Boom. Yeah. So yeah, I'm telling you, I had like 7 positions, like 7 entries. I don't know if you see it. So they're not that they're all over the place, but they're I entered a couple times because I was just real sure of this, real sure of this move right here, especially after all of this. So this one right here was my second, this entry was after I got this one. Boom, right here, right there. 300, 145, 300. Boom. So 1 entry, 2 entry, 3 entry, and yes, this one went all the way in. This one went all the way in drawdown right here. But as soon as it did that, I got even more. As soon as it did that, I got even more excited when it did this. So overall, 162 pips. You saw why I entered. I explained it to you how I entered. I hope it was clear to you why I entered. Like that was my trading is confluence trading, okay? I don't trade SMT. I don't trade um I mean SMC. I don't trade ICT. I don't trade none of that. I trade straight price action, straight technical analysis. I rarely look at fundamentals at the end of the day because I believe like fundamental follows technicals. Just the fundamentals help it get there quicker when there's news and stuff like that. But overall, so yeah, would you understand? I started from the higher time frame, right? Started from the higher time frame. Boom. Saw this one was gave me my motive right here to think that something's coming up right here. What is this? Higher low. Higher low. Okay? I'm doing it again, but I'm running it back a little faster. Higher low. Higher low. Boom. So overall, this higher low, I don't know what's about to be formed yet. That's why you see that I entered all the way down here, like at 30% of that candle. So this higher low wasn't the one that gave me the, oh, look, watch out right now. No, that's not the higher low that gave me that. The higher low that gave me that was this one, was the first one, saying, oh, sellers don't got enough momentum to keep going, you know? And then when it broke this, it was like, oh, bias completely changed. I'm going up, going up. Go to the 4 hour. Like I said, I go to the 4 hour, full fibs, drop down to the 2 hour. And remember, and the 1 hour, this here looks broken, right? And yes, you could have took advantage here. Boom. Let me do it a little right here. Took advantage here. Oh, lower high. Boom. Entry here, right? Boom. Take it all the way, but not what we're doing because of this. This right here does not. I want y'all to pay attention to this. This means something on the 1 hour, right? But on the 4 hour, you don't really see it. And what are you gonna go for better? What are you gonna stick to more? What are you gonna have more? Like, what are you gonna trust more, the 1 hour or the 4 hour? To me, the higher time frame is super duper important. So I basically, if I see the 1 hour telling me something and the 4 hour telling me something else, I'm going for the 4 hour. Even though, yes, I know lower time frames make up your higher time frame, but with stuff like that, usually look at how it looks on the 4 hour. No structure here. It's just going all the way down to 86. So what happened? 80. I saw this at an 80, 88.6. I ignored this break. I was not bearish on none of this. I was just waiting on my bullish entry. And even here, when it broke on the 15-minute right here, even when it broke on the 15-minute right here, it was still below. It was still below the MAs here. So it was a little risky for me to take that up there. But what I had already seen this happen right here, which this is the first daily higher low. The break and the other higher low that hadn't formed yet on the daily, well, this made it form right here because a higher low is formed when there's a break of resistance on a lower time frame. So lower high, boom, this broke right here, and you go to the 32, and the 30 is right here. Look, the break is right there. Break, boom, cool. You get me? Let me see something. Yeah, because I thought this was 23.6, but it was 30. You see? So the 30 was there. See? We're not doing that. We're doing the 15. I like to enter on the 15. Kind of not as early as the 5 minute, not as late as the 30. Even though I enter on the 5, the 15, the 30, and when I'm feeling like it, that there's a lot of confluences my way and there's momentum going, and I'm just feeling like it with a tight, real tight stop loss, I'll enter on the 1 minute. But overall, I loved how this setup was looking. I loved this this bullish engulfing candle right here. I love this candle. Look at that. No wick whatsoever. No wick at all. This right here. Bearish bullish variation. Bullish variation right there. Bullish variation on the 15-minute. Big bearish engulfing on the 30-minute. And I want y'all to see how it looks. Perfect. Like I love those candles when they look like that. Overall, how many pips? 27 pip stop loss. I'm not gonna lie, a 27 pip stop loss for me, I'm gonna just show y'all that it's low key a lot for me. Like a 27 pip stop loss is low key a lot for me, because look, 15 pip stop loss, 13 pip stop loss. And yes, I did make more money here than here, even though this was 130 pips more than this, and it was a 1 to 22. But you know, sometimes, even though, like, look how pretty this was, I really didn't go as aggressive as I did on this one for some reason. Okay, keep going. Boom, boom, boom. So like I said, what else could you do there? Like, what else could you do there to be a little more sure? I'm not sure if I deleted anything or nothing, but I'm seeing stuff that I'm pretty sure I would have drew. Like, that's probably why I didn't draw it, because it just looks, it's just not hidden for real. So yeah, higher low, higher low, higher low, 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 higher low. Let me see. because that's there for a reason. So I probably got an entry there too. 143. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So yeah. Okay. So yeah. That was the chart. That was, I didn't enter here. That was the breakdown overall of how I made $1,000 in this trade. And I hope y'all like this breakdown. I'm probably gonna make a couple more breakdowns. I'm gonna be breaking down at least one or two charts, at least one or two charts a week, just so you guys can get a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of something, 1% knowledge, 1% better. Something is something, and that's, look, you see how it lines up perfect. Boom, boom. It lines it up perfect, right? Boom. So yeah, that right here is gonna stay there. And if you could tell, like, I like writing on my chart a lot. Like, I love it. So yeah, if I appreciate it if you stayed to the end of this video. This was my first chart breakdown, and I'm not gonna lie, I appreciate it if you stayed to the end of the video. I would appreciate it if you could drop a like, comment, and subscribe. A lot more to come, and I love y'all. Stay with me. Yep. Boom, boom, boom. I'm about to end it. I'm sorry.